Hoyoverse Games have one of the worst system mechanics that I have ever seen in any game that I have ever played, and it's extremely frustrating to have to deal with this in every one of their games, from Genshin to Honkai, and probably upcoming with Zenless. This system kind of ruins the game almost, right? It ruins the Hoyoverse games, and it makes them extremely tedious to play. And that system I'm referring to is the artifact or relic system that Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact have, and the hundreds of layers of RNG that you have to deal with when trying to make your characters better, when trying to build new characters, that does not let you enjoy anything. The whole process itself is extremely tedious to go through, and it's very, very, very annoying. So let me break this down. For anyone who doesn't know how many layers of RNG you have to deal with when getting artifacts, it all starts with obtaining the artifact to begin with, right? Most artifact sets come with another set. It's like it's shared with another set, right? It has a friend set. It has a set that comes with it. And now you have RNG that determines if you get one set or the other, right? On this RNG, now you have to get the exact main stat for this set. That's already 2 layers of RNG. You had to win and get the correct set, and then 2, get the correct main stat. Now, there's a 3rd layer of RNG. Artifacts can either appear with 3 or 4 stats on them already, so that's another layer of RNG. We're already 3 layers of RNG deep into these systems, and it's just obtaining your artifacts. And do you not see the problem here already? It's super frustrating to have to deal with so many layers of RNG. You have to go through hundreds and thousands of artifacts just to get to this point. Correct set, correct main stat, 3 or 4 substats, which you honestly want 4 substats all the time. So that's already 3 layers of RNG just to get the start of your artifact. And these 4 stats aren't even the stats that you want, so now you have to get 4 stats that you actually want with the correct main pace. That's another layer. Actually, that's like a layer cubed, right? It's like 3 layers of RNG already there, 3 or 4 layers of RNG right there, because the substats have to be the ones that you want on that character, right? But we're not even done from there, because now what happens is if you roll on this artifact, right? Now you have the problem where if you actually rolled on this artifact, it can go into any of the 4 substats on the artifact. Boom, another layer. So we're now at 5 layers of RNG just to get one good artifact. Well, this is one good artifact. We're already at 5 layers of RNG to get one good artifact. Next, even if you do roll the stat that you want, this roll can be a high, low, or mid roll. That's another layer of RNG. We have currently 6 layers of RNG for you to get artifact or relic that you want. And that's just extremely disheartening. I have no idea why they made this like this. It's extremely frustrating and very, very, very time consuming and tedious. It drives me mad on why this artifact system is even developed like this. And this is all bad enough, but now let me give you another factor that influences this system, and that's flat stats. It's not shitty enough that you probably roll into something that you don't want, but now we have stats that are just completely useless. All the flat stats are useless in this game. In both games, I mean. In Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, because you want percentage base increase anyway. Why are we having a wasted stat when we already have so many layers of RNG already built in to the artifact system? It's baffling. Why is it there? Why can we have a wasted stat when there's so many rolls, there's so many RNG that you have to overcome before you can even get something decent to use? It's just very frustrating. And I personally hope that Wuthering Waves and any future games don't have a system like this, because it discourages building new characters, because now you have to deal with the grind of having to deal with all these levels of RNG and getting new relics or new artifacts for whatever characters that you're getting. And there's multiple ways that you could fix this, right? You could remove low rolls, remove low rolling and high rolling, right? Stuff like that. You could remove flat stats and turn them into base stats, which would go and increase the base value of your character so that it actually has some effect in the damage calculation of your character. Because as it stands, base stats are just completely useless, right? And I know that's most likely never going to change for Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact, but a man can hope that they can get rid of low rolling and high rolling flat stats, just reduce the amount of RNG. There's already so many layers of RNG that you have to deal with, and there's a certain amount that's at least acceptable, right? That's okay. But they're just taking the piss, and everything I just mentioned is only for one artifact. Genshin Impact has you play as a team of 4 characters. 4 characters. Every character takes 5 relics. 5 relics. You need 2 teams for both games. That's 40 artifacts that you have to deal with all that RNG for. 40. Honkai Star Rail has 6 for each character with teams of 4. That's 48 artifacts that you have to deal with all that RNG for. It's extremely annoying. It's impossible at some points. It's impossible. Literally, taking out 2 of these layers would make the game way more enjoyable, way less tedious than it actually is, and Hoyoverse needs to just change the system. Or at least if other developers want to have an artifact system, please do not copy it exactly like Genshin Impact does it. Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail do it. How Hoyoverse Games do it. Please don't have this many layers of RNG that your players have to go through before getting good shit on the game. Hopefully, future games don't have this. Hopefully, Wuthering Waves doesn't fall into this trap and have you deal with like 6 and 7 layers of RNG to get one good stat on whatever character that you want, right? So yeah, that's all I have to say. Please do all that YouTube stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe, and check out the socials in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.